Welcome to this week's edition of the Dumbars Podcast. Immortal, fellas, how you feeling on this crazy week?
It was a crazy week.
Yeah.
I know we're going to dive into a lot of it.
Yeah. I guess emotional roller coaster could be said for just general week that was, right? Outside of wrestling, other stuff going on, it was definitely a week that felt extra long to get through. Like I stopped down Chris's to pick up the drink of the week last night, and I told him, I'm like, I feel like Slammiversary was 3 weeks ago, and it was literally 6 days ago.
Yes.
Like that's how long this week was, given everything that went on inside and outside of pro wrestling. Some of the childhood, childhood individuals, icons, etc., that we lost. It's just it's been a whirlwind of a week. But boy, oh boy, do we got a lot to pod about. You want to talk about wait until Saturday to jump on and do a weekly pod? This could be like a 4-hour episode if we really wanted it to be.
We talked last week about how, like, okay, we had a week off of no predictions,
No break this
Damn.
No break this week.
I texted you guys on Thursday. I was like, I'm sitting here waiting for SmackDown to come on. My week was just all off.
Yeah. I mean, you had, obviously the sad news at the beginning of the week, which just continued to roll throughout the week.
Malcolm
Jamal Warner, Ozzy. We'll get into the last of the three, I'm sure, because it's pro wrestling ties there with Hogan. You had NFL kickoff with training camps and all that. So football, we got a football game next Thursday, Hall of Fame game. So football's officially back through February. So that's ready to rock and roll. Yeah, man. It was a lot. It was definitely a lot. So
I was listening to Busted Open a little bit yesterday, and this week they really covered Ozzy and Hogan. A lot of people they did some stuff the other day whenever Ozzy happened, and then even yesterday they were talking about both. Like, I tuned in and Billy Corgan was on, so he was covering both sides of it. Just like,
I caught the Corgan stuff yesterday in the replay of Busted Open with Bully and Dave, and him talking about being there and actually getting to perform with Ozzy and Black Sabbath on the final show. That was 2 weeks ago. And that show, if you're a rock and roll fan, that show is still being talked about just based off of the lineup that they had and who was all there. The culmination of Ozzy's life and career summed up in one show, and that's something that
WrestleMania Super Bowl of rock and roll shows, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And they had the show literally a mile away from where Ozzy and all them grew up. So you want to talk about full circle moment. You've traveled the world, you've done everything, and you get to do one last show a mile from where you grew up in a sold out stadium.
Was this song "I'm Coming Home"?
Yeah.
Coming home.
And that's a deeper dive pondering question that you could ask, because we've seen it throughout time with different figures. With the Ozzy stuff, doing the show, and then a couple weeks later passing away. To me, that's a direct correlation to what happened with Joe Paterno.
Or even Warrior.
Retired from coaching, and that was it. Warrior got inducted into the Hall of Fame, gave the speech, and that was it. They always say people know when they know. And everybody that's come out and that's talked about Ozzy being there around him, spirit was brighter than ever, even though the body wasn't there. The the Mark Briscoe doc that's on YouTube talking about Jay and everything. Like that morning, like he was just extra peaceful, and it's like almost like they know but they don't know. Like it's a weird thing to think about philosophically if you want to deep dive into it, right? Like, and we're not going to do that here because normally we give you the shits and giggles to kind of take you outside of that. But given the week that was, we got to get a little heavy to start off the show.
I'm sure we'll find some levity in between, but
yeah, don't worry, Mars. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
What do you want to talk about today, Mars? You hit us with the first comment.
We'll talk about that too.
We'll talk about that man too.
So the one time I have a show planned out.
Don't lie to us.
Yeah, don't lie.
I was gonna come in with Slammiversary talk. Hulk Hogan came in and said that doesn't work for me, brother.
Your show needs a little hot sauce. Yep.
We gotta pivot and let's touch on the immortal Hulk Hogan. Anybody want to just start with the impact?
So I talked to my mom the other day, right? And it was actually the day of, and she's like, how are you feeling? It was just, he was so much of your childhood and just the figure, like just everything. And I'm like, my phone was blowing up all day from everybody. Like the group chat was going crazy. My sister was texting me, like just everybody that knows me pretty much reached out in some capacity and said Hulk Hogan passed away. And I told my mom, I said, well, Mom, I said, it's a weird space to be in emotionally. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, the child in me is sad because that was my childhood hero. I said, the adult in me, the person from the last 20 plus years, doesn't feel from the person himself. So like, feel, what do you say? Like all those things. To me, this is the definition of, can you separate the artist from the art? Some people can, some people can't. Some people take it as it's wholesome, all the parts added together. It doesn't matter that you were a character, it doesn't matter that you were a public figure, private individual, like all that is you. Where others can separate. And I think Cody Rhodes last night tried to make that delineation as far as separating the man from the character, separating Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea. And even that didn't work for people online and social media. So yeah, again, I didn't tune up I didn't play the theme song. I didn't go look for
froze up.
You froze up.
Yeah. I didn't go look for old wrestling figures. I didn't go look for my wrestling buddy. Like I just did not do any of that. And I don't know if that's just me with him giving everything, or if that's just me in general because of, and again, not to go deep into emotional philosophical stuff on a Saturday morning, but like I grew up around so much death and trauma with people leaving from a young age and spending so much time in funeral homes that funeral home owners knew me by first name, that like it's hard for me to really feel anything at this point, like which is sad to say because so I like I said, I don't know. I definitely was not one to get out there and shout praises from the mountaintops, given everything that he's done. But at the same time, like I was just interested to see how WWE would pivot, what they would do, the whole thing with AEW and what they've done or haven't done based off of stuff and people's it's just been crazy heavy in regards to all that stuff.
Yeah.
We got it running.
What's up, brothers?
What's going on?
Boy, it's hot down here, brother. Oh, brother.
Look at you. Look at you. You want to talk about living the American dream? You got the white picket fence and everything else down there. Look at you.
What's going on? We got gazebos back here.
I see. Wow.
Look at that.
That's extra
freshly
white.
cut grass.
Extra white of you. Yeah, that's extra
Freshly
white
cut
of you.
grass.
You
Well, look
You
at that.
know, we're doing all right. You know, grass.
HOAs out there.
We got we got sunshine. Don't believe the myth. You know, we got it all out here.
Yeah,
The content game's good, huh?
Yeah. You know, content game's doing all right. It's doing all right. You know, I'm getting grayer about a minute. I'm turning to Dame Dash for some reason, but you know,
You look a little Damish. You definitely look a little Damish.
that's the life right now, man. How you gentlemen doing this morning?
Doing good,
See you,
man.
Mars.
We're here on Saturday, like always, Mars.
Always, I'm always tuning in, but you know, something as monumental as this, I said I got to tune in. I got one opportunity, so
Mm.
You like Eminem? You got one shot.
one shot of it's like Donald looks like me, but he's not really. No, you know.
You want to talk about an impact? No matter that flooded my timeline. No matter who you were, I'm like, these people don't even watch wrestling. You've seen a million people reposting, good or bad, positive, negative.
Mm-hmm.
It was my timeline.
Yeah, it didn't fail. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's equivalent to if Michael Jordan passed away minus the racism. You know, he is to pro wrestling the Michael Jordan, you know, maybe not his talent, but it's just far as being known. He is the man who shaped the sport, good or bad, to what it is. He is the foundation, if you will. As a human being, you know, obviously, what's those saying? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. This is one of those scenarios. If R. Kelly would have died in 1998, he would have been heralded as the greatest musician who ever lived. But unfortunately, stuff came out and we found otherwise. I'm also a firm believer in separating the art from the artist because so much good. I tell people all the time, R. Kelly, human being, feces. But how many people have literally lives been saved by So I Believe You Can Fly? Literally, there's people that was probably on the cusp and hear that song and give them inspiration. Do we take that away because of what he did? So, you know, the art motivated. We're all probably here. I was more of a Piper guy, but we're all here on the house that Hogan built. So as a professional and what he meant to the sport, kudos. As a human being, you know, I heard he became a Christian towards the end, so that's good.
That could be debatable as well. But yeah, I mean, to your point, like with R. Kelly, like how many lives were born due to bump and grind? Like it's you know, but
I don't like the man, but it's stepping in the name of love. Come on, I'm stepping. You're stepping.
Yeah, because that's what me too. Like what Hogan did for the wrestling business, I'm all for it. What he did outside of the ring as a human being, as Terry Bollea, I don't know the man personally or whatever. So I mean, that part is terrible. Same with R. Kelly. I love his music. When his music comes on, I'm gonna listen to it. As an artist, great. Human being, different. I mean, people go down the line with that all the time. Like when Kobe died, people was bringing both up for him. You know, great basketball player and what he did. Ben Roethlisberger's the same way, even though Ben is still alive. Hey, great football player. Look what he did. I separate the person from on the field, in the studio, in the ring, from their human being.
But and this is where it kind of, I would say, gets extra complicated if you're looking just at Hogan. He was also terrible in the business. So it wasn't
you learn that later on in life.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you look at, like, yes, is he the foundation, like Mars said? Absolutely. I would say behind Vince McMahon, and that name shouldn't be spoken a lot, but he's the second most important person in pro wrestling history. Yeah. And so, absolutely. Like, this same conversation is gonna come up when Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Passes. Oh, yes.
There's gonna be a lot of this conversation.
So
over time. I think Steve froze again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Chris?
And yeah, I mean, Donald, like kind of what you were saying, my whole feeling on the whole situation this week was trying to separate the two. Like, I feel for the friends and family of Terry Bollea. You know, we've all had loss here. We know how that can be in a family. So I feel for them in this situation. But to quote Iron Sheik, fuck Hulk Hogan.
Chris woke up on spending whole business today.
Hill Chris, we love Hill Chris.
Mars said, he was a Piper guy. I came in WrestleMania 6, so my first match into wrestling was a Hogan match, but I walked out of there and became a fan because of Warrior, not Hogan. So, like, I'm not going to take away anything out of him, but, like, I was never. Warriors what got me into it. Then, like, watching WCW Saturday Night Flares what kind of kept me into it. So Hogan for me was never the guy that really, like, made me a wrestling fan. But Steve, to what you're saying, number 2 guy in pro wrestling, undeniable. And like, wrestling wouldn't be mainstream. And we talked about Ozzy, the rock and wrestling era there. Like Ozzy did a lot of stuff the past, 10, 15 years in WWE, but he was also part of WrestleMania 4. So it's like there's that whole era there, who knows where wrestling would be today if it wasn't for that era at one time.
So I was out at Walmart this morning, and of course, I go look at the action figures, and wouldn't you know it, there's a Hogan on the shelf. So I'm like, you know what, let this be my last. And my buddy was telling me about a drink. I go get the drink. Red and yellow.
Oh, you just got all types of signs.
He was like, try this new drink. I go get this red. I'm like, come on, like, this is my childhood here behind me.
You got on a Pirates hat that's red and yellow. You even incorporated that into
you got the old school.
Pirates
hat. I brought all this out for the Real American Beer because we had to try it, and I never took it down. So it's like, this is my childhood, and sooner or later I'm gonna put it away, never see it again. But it's like, for me, like, I turned on Hogan from NWO on. Like, once you did, I mean, NWO was hard to get me back. But like, once you play that before NWO, the child in me just still, there's something that it resonates with me, and that's like, I can't let that part go. So Hulk Hogan, the man, done with him. But Hulkamania, I can't.
I mean, as a child, like, it's real to you, damn it, as Chris likes to say. So like, yeah, I went to Civic Arena and saw Earthquake and Hogan in the stretcher match, and Hogan being stretchered out, and I was in tears leaving that arena, right? Like, I remember watching the death of Hulk Hogan whenever they put that VHS tape out, right? Like, all those things. The flag after the Rumble. I mean, my first memory in wrestling, outside of my babysitter who got me into wrestling and my sister flopping her fat ass in my wrestling ring on Christmas morning and breaking it, my first actual match memory is Hogan slamming Andre at WrestleMania 3. Like, that's where my wrestling goes back. Hell, I remember being 5 or 6 years old outside in the summertime, hulking up on my road tie wall to the Gibbons brothers before they pulled me down and beat my ass while I had my brothers Charlie and Brad standing there let me get beat up. But I hulked up thinking I was going to do something at 6 years old, and it got my ass beat. That should have been a life lesson right there. But like, yeah, it was childhood through and through. So it's hard to separate those emotions.
Yeah.
Because of how much is tied into it if you are a wrestling fan that started out in the 80s.
Yes.
Now, if you're an older, if you're an older wrestling fan, like if you know people that maybe are 10, 15 years older than us, that was 10, 15 years older back in the 80s and 90s and now that, it could be a little bit different for you. But somebody that was born in the 80s, if you were 83 to 87-ish, 88, Hogan was
God.
everything for childhood individuals of wrestling fans. So yeah, it like I said, it's super weird what to feel, what not to feel. What do you guys think of all the discourse that's come about? And I know X isn't the right place to point to because of how toxic of a environment that is, but I mean, there was nothing. It was just, you want to talk about, you know, if you're right or left in the battle lines that were drawn. This was like, this was even worse than that. Like this week online. AEW still hasn't put nothing out, which Chris and I talked about last night. Like, they banned him from life. He wasn't ever coming to AEW. It had nothing to do with AEW. They banned his ex-wife for life based on tweets that she put out. Like, I'm
not going to criticize them because you criticize them if they RIP somebody who was never in the AEW. Yeah. I mean, they're going to catch hell either way. So let them be.
And but WWE did their thing. TNA did it. Yeah. New Japan did it. Like everybody that he worked
with.
The
companies he worked for. Yeah.
TNA put something out, and I saw the first quote underneath it was, "The man nearly killed your company, and you're sending an RIP graphic out to him." And it's like, all right, what are we doing? Like,
but he brought in eyes. So.
What I say yesterday, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't with this situation.
I've never seen so much discord when someone is passed, where it's either black or white, and there's no middle ground. It like blows my mind that, you know, in this little corner of entertainment, which is pro wrestling, which at the end of the day is still, you know, not the biggest thing in the world. It just shows how big he really was, that it's drawn such a hard very line. Black and white hard line. And it's very few that can just be kind of in the middle. Like I'm in the middle because, like you, my first memory was the whole Mega Powers. Because like I said, I like the bad guys. So I like Macho Man, I like Piper, but Macho Man made me start liking Hogan because of the Mega Powers. And then I thought Hogan was corny because of the whole vitamins. But when he turned to Hollywood Hogan, then I was the biggest fan in the world. I love Hollywood Hogan. You know, I never forget when he had the fake Sting come down. And after thinking about Owen Hart, it's pretty much in bad taste now that I think about it. But he had the fake Sting come down, and it falls in the middle of the ring, and Hogan act like it's real. It's like, oh my God, brother, what happened to Sting? Get some help. Oh, wait, you piece of trash. And then he's, you know, lid dropping a puppet. This was like prime television for me. So, and then of course, his comments come out, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. But on the Two Horseman podcast, we ended every episode with the famous Booker T quote, because that's how much it was just a joke to me. So it's funny because part of me is just a compassionate being. It's like, hey, he was a father, he was, you know, a friend to many people. And then as an obvious black guy, I'm like, he really didn't like us. He really didn't. And that was in the comfort of his own home with his own friends. So it's very black or white, no pun intended, you know, with the NWO, very black and white. But at the end of the day, you have to give the man respect for what he did to the sport.
Squeeze is down there in the chat, and he blew up the group messaging on in Facebook Messenger as soon as the news broke. He's out there. We got to go full episode. It's Hogan. He's been playing theme songs, like he said, running in, dropping leg drops on individuals. So, you know, for somebody that is black and white, Squeeze is, you know, he's all in. Giving it up to Hogan, like, so, you know, it's Yeah, it's just a weird space. You know, not much. No.
I don't know one.
I don't own one either.
Nope. It's football season with training camp, so I got on the old Steelers gear here at Squeeze.
Please, you know.
Flair first.
I wore Juneteenth shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
So, do you want to touch on the Cody discourse?
Well, that all broke after last night's Cody promo, where he gets in and I'm going to paraphrase it, not direct quote it, but saying it's complicated, but what is not complicated are his accomplishments and what he's done for the business in the business of pro wrestling. And that just set another firestorm throughout, and people are now bashing Cody Rhodes and saying, "Oh, I get it. You're the face of the company. You probably they put you out there to say a few words and that, but how can you completely disengage and not act like he didn't do what he do towards people that look like me or women that look like me from that whole side of the fence?" And it's like, listening to the promo last night, I didn't get any of that. I thought, as Chris said, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I thought Cody said exactly what most of us are thinking right now. Like, you cannot discredit or not look at the accomplishments in the business, even though he did some things in the business to put himself over constantly, et cetera. But for what he was, what he is, Triple H said it last night, and not that I always agree with what Triple H says, but he said, it's not for him. We're not standing on this stage. And it's kind of hard to argue that fact. Like, really. So I don't know. I mean, does this just further push Cody down a hill line? Who knows? But like,
that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's not the most comfortable ask to go to Cody when you given who his wife is and having what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Everybody fired upon Cody, but Hunter said all that and everything, and nobody fired upon Hunter just because he's management, right?
Yeah. We know how management feels.
Because if Cody hadn't said anything, it would have just been straight Hogan praise the whole way through. Him just at least acknowledging that.
He acknowledged the difference. Like, and he set the clear delineation marker. Like, yes, it's complicated, but looking at it from a business perspective, what we do, why we're here, why I'm here, why this is a multi-billion-dollar company, it's how do you not give the man his flowers for that?
Yeah.
But had he not even said that, it'd just been straight slurp flesh the whole way through. And I'm like, okay, you can't call him out when you're in the. I'm sure the whole crowd was. The whole crowd is chanting, "Thank you, Hogan." Do you call that out when you just booed him?
When you just booed him?
Yeah,
we could have that. See that I said to Chris last night. I said the crowd's reaction is going to be very interesting, because if you do that, then it's like, oh, you're fickle. If you're on the other side at the time when he got booed out in LA and that was his last appearance, then you're giving ammunition to that side of the line, saying, see, it's all liberal this and you got, and it's like, all right, come on now. Like,
Chris,
it's just the times that we're in, which is crazy. It's I hate the fact that with every single thing, regardless of who it is, where it's at, but every single thing, you either have to be on this side or on that side. And it's like, no, I can be right in the middle. I can be right in the middle on this. I don't have to go all the way right or left, or agree or disagree with one side or the other. I can feel exactly how I feel. Childhood, yes, sad. It's who I looked up to as a kid. But everything from the time, I was about 20 on, I can't rock with you. Like, that's allowed to be. I mean, in fact, majority of the time, that's where people are supposed to be. You're not supposed to just completely agree or disagree whenever any topic comes up. But we're in those
social media.
Sometimes I feel hard stances are performative. Just to say something. There's no way you don't feel. There's no way you weren't affected by Hulkamania.
Yeah, we saw that a lot this week of both sides hard stances. That it's just all right, like, and see how you could be so set in stone in one way or the other, which just goes bigger picture, bird's eye, 30,000-foot view in the sky. Like, that's exactly why we are where we are, because nobody wants to take the time to listen, have discussions.
Oh, of course not.
Or actually say, hey, no, I'm actually in the middle on this.
If your opinion doesn't agree with their opinion, you're wrong.
It's hot take everything.
You know what? I think it shows how much impact he really made, because he really made a heel turn. When that tape came on, that was his real life NWO turn. And people were like, not Hogan. I grew up with Hogan. And I think that's why so much energy and vitriol, because he meant so much to so many. It's like when we found out about Bill Cosby, we're like, oh, not America's dad. Come on, man. This is bad news. So I think that just shows, how it hurts so many
even
people.
with that, like, that is hurt. Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away in the beginning of the week, due to a swimming but like,
I think we lost Steve again.
It's like, how many people don't get to see his work because of a lot of it being on the Cosby Show? Like, Theo's arc on the Cosby Show, from the kid that was stitching shirts together that had dyslexia and couldn't read, to him graduating college and all that, like, that is an arc that should be inspirational to kids, but people can't see it because the show's not allowed to air anywhere based on what was done by somebody else on the show, right? So, like,
very limited now.
Yeah, so it is definitely hot, heavy, right, wrong, the other. Like, you can't tell somebody how to feel.
Yeah,
exactly.
So if you're one of those people, people that are upset, in tears, mourning, okay. If you're ones that are saying, nah, bleep this, bleep him, I can't believe y'all are even acting like he was a positive in the space, okay, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. But
it's exactly the flip for Bill Cosby. They're like, I can separate the... Nah. Take a stance. You want to be hardline for this? Be hardline for that.
Well, that's where the fickleness comes in, right? So, yeah. So, I mean, to get out of the hot and heavy, you want to talk about something that was unexpected. El Grande Americano was over in Mexico like Rover last night, boy. They're chanting Grande, Grande. He's out there cutting promos in Spanish. Like, what is going on?
Is he still built from the Gulf of America?
I don't know. But
I thought they were pissed.
It got over, apparently.
Early on, they were pissed.
Yeah, so I mean, he's in the fatal 4-way for the AAA title at Triple Mania. So
I said before, Chad ain't getting that gimmick back when he returns.
Look,
It's gonna be a taker versus taker match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that initially. I said, give me that. But you have a German who's playing an American who's a luchador.
Spaceman
It's like,
ever
wait,
seen.
what? Like, but he's over. He got it done. Shout out to Ludwig. But
So while we're on the positive, we want to head into our Mount Rushmores.
yeah, let's jump off the hot and heavy. We spent damn near 40 minutes talking hot and heavy, deep philosophical stuff. But hey, sometimes we got to pull that out the bag and let people know we can go there if we need to. We're not always just here for the shits and giggles, right? We can have the larger conversations if necessary when deemed.
I'm gonna get stretched out, fellas. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, Mars. Thanks for the running.
Yeah, appreciate
Stretch
you
out,
man.
coming on.
All right, peace, brothers.
Yeah, that man down there with picket fences and everything else, like gazebos. Gazebo. What's a gazebo? We don't even have those up here. This man's
Yeah, patio sets. That's it.
yeah. So,
Go a little further south and it becomes a lanai.
Yeah.
A slab of concrete.
yeah, he got wicker furniture. We got plastic chairs. Like, what are you talking? I spray them off with the hose every year. Like, what are we doing?
The lawn/beach chairs.
Yeah, lawn chairs that look like they were made out of the old gel shoe material. Just spraying the WD-40 on the cranks.
Anybody want to kick off our Mount Rushmore?
Sure, I will. So since we on El Grande, you got to give it up for the one and only best wrestler in the world, Dom Mysterio, making that appearance. He's the only person that I would be okay with having 2 belts and doing what he's doing. And doing what he's doing. I mean, hey, I'm on this ship 100%. Do what he does. Let's keep it going. Best wrestler in the world.
I mean, yeah.
And he don't even mask to get over.
Did he need to be on every segment on Raw? No. That man was like every commercial break, him and AJ.
AJ had 4 jobs on Monday night. It was crazy. But this is something that I did not. So, like watching Raw on Monday, it's like, oh, AJ Styles, comedian. Like, I don't ever remember comedic AJ Styles in pro wrestling.
Just the wrestler.
There's been heel and there's been face, but yeah, I don't think we've done comedic.
He keeps replacing our truth.
No, but like AJ on Monday night to me was like Angle back in the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Like the serious wrestler that could absolutely maul you in the ring, but like, yo, this dude is low key hilarious. Like,
entertaining.
And it's like, yeah, why have we never seen this side of AJ before? Maybe that's just AJ coming down to the end and saying, all right, I'll do whatever, and not taking himself so seriously.
It's TV time.
Yeah. But
just like we'll see this hit a while ago. He's like, I'm at the point where I don't have to be the man. I can come in and do the fun stuff. Now I can let go and be myself.
Yeah.
And it keeps you off and it keeps you out the ring, so you're not taking no wear and tear on your body.
Yeah. Play up that injury angle a little while longer.
Can't wrestle on Saudi injury angle.
Yeah. So speaking of AJ, for me, AJ's my Mount Rushmore this week. Coming back to TNA, the prodigal son returning home. For me, that's the moment of the year in 2025 when we get to our year-end awards. I'm not going to knock that off the list. That's my moment of the year. It's not going anywhere. Hearing the I Am phenomenal theme music after he just got done on Chris Van Vliet's show a couple, month or two ago, saying he never wants to walk out to that again. the emotion that you saw on his face, it was, a closure moment that I don't think a lot of wrestling fans would ever happen, right? Like, we never would have thought AJ would go back to TNA at some point in time. Do I need a match from AJ Styles in TNA? No, I don't. If that was like the end and that book is officially closed, I'm completely satisfied with how that book ended. For him to come back, get the adulation, the pop, the crowd. Leon Slater's reaction because he didn't know he was coming out. And you want to talk about us being a kid in the moment. And granted, Leon's what, like 20 years old?
Yeah.
So he can't even have a beer yet. So he's still a kid. But his sheer joy and just natural reaction to be jumping up and down in the ring, like, to me, that just made the moment even greater. So I'll have AJ. He was my Mount Rushmore all week long. The only thing that would have knocked him off was Mercedes and Sapphire Reed from Rev Pro last night. If you didn't see that match, I just reposted it on X, on the X account. Phenomenal match. The finishing sequence, how she got into the moneymaker pause. Well done. Like, I haven't seen that finish transitioned into that way before, but phenomenal match. And for all those saying Mercedes this, Mercedes that, she again proved to you why she's 6-belt Monet. So I don't want to hear any blasphemy calling out her name anymore after last night again. So that would have been the only thing to knock AJ off my Mount Rushmore, but I'm going to keep it with the happiness that the moment brought me as a TNA fan from 2003 on. Seeing that last week was my Mount Rushmore.
For me, like, it was great to see AJ in the TNA ring again. We're going to talk about some production issues with TNA in a little bit. That was one of them. Was I felt like the music could have been a little bit louder, coming out for it, but that's a production thing. For me, the chapter is not closed for AJ. Like, the chapter that closes AJ in TNA for me is when he gets put in the Hall of Fame. So, like, when that happens, I don't know if this was a teaser, maybe to set up for Bound for Glory this year, or if that's going to be later on after he retires, but that when all is said and done, when he gets in the Hall of Fame, that'll close the chapter for AJ for me. But in the same segment, Leon Slater is my Mount Rushmore. There was Slammiversary. We can talk about pros and cons of that whole entire event, but there's a couple good matches on there, and Slater brought it. I'm a fan of his. I thought he was deserving to become the youngest X Division champion, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the belt now.
That was my match of the night from Slammiversary, was him and Moose. And kudos and shout out to Moose. He is very hurt and very banged up with a back injury right now, so expect him to take some time off in that regards. But he went out there and gutted it out. Tommy Dreamer talked about it on Busted Open this week, how he went out and performed injured and put in, what a champion does in that regards. Go over, get over. It was the right call. Slammiversary made a lot of wrong calls, but we'll get into that, I'm sure. But yeah, that Leon to me is he stands out. There's just something different about him, even though there's a bunch of guys that wrestle like him. And I haven't figured out what it is yet, but there is just something different. Like, if I look at him and Javon Evans side by side, to me, wrestling wise, they're the same wrestler. They can do all the high flying shit, everything else on. But Leon has just something else that I think Javon is still searching for. And I need a matchup between them two ASAP. If we're doing a TNA NXT crossover, give me that for the X Division in an X Division match. Give me them two, 1,000%. I spoke Oba and Moose into existence with them two going at it. The big meaty men slapping meat. and that was phenomenal. I need Leon Slater and Javon Evans in a match at some point in time here in the near future.
I mean, that
and Bound for Glory would be a perfect spot for it.
Yeah. I mean, they did that video package for Slater building up to Slammiversary. And I mean, you already knew how much of a fan he was being such a young kid. Like, there's no way he couldn't have grown up as a fan, to get in the industry as young as he did. But I don't know, maybe that's part of it. Maybe just like the passion he has at such a young age still, that kind of separates him from, we talk about some people that just get into it because it's their next step.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hearing him, the more interviews I hear with him that he does, and how he talks about the business, outside of the business, what he looks for as far as what he's working on. In ring, there's a connection to him in ring. Like, it's something that I can't put my finger on. And normally when you can't put your finger on it, but you're drawn to somebody in pro wrestling, that's the whole it factor, right? Like, I don't know what it is, but you have it, right? And I think Leon is somebody that has it. I'm very interested to see where his career takes him because he is so young. Yeah. And he started training when he was 9 years old and started wrestling at 15. So he already has 6 years in.
Which is crazy.
Well, I mean, you got to figure UK, like, you graduate high school
the better.
15.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, there's a lot to be said from his career path and trajectory, and becoming the youngest X Division champion is a very good first marker, so to speak, planting a flag in the career that is going to be Leon Slater.
Is anything from Slammiversary anybody's mushes?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, then, we'll sandwich this with Slammiversary. So mine is JC Two Belts.
That's your Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore. Loved the match, and for me, that was the right call for the TNA Women's Division.
All right, that we're going to get into it.
We'll get more eyes on those people. Right call for me. That one. The other one, not so much. But JC Two Belts is my Mount Rushmore.
There's been a lot of talk about that, with it being that's possibly the point of it, with a new TV deal being, brought up with TNA and being able to put the TNA title on NXT every week. I mean, you could have done that still with Masha, but
so that leads to my Slammiversary question. The two belt, that's probably somebody's mush, but the two belts being on NXT, are you here for it or no?
All right. I mean, this is a complicated question, and this was a lot of discourse in the beginning of the week after Slammiversary ended, right? Is TNA actually helping themselves, or are they being buried by WWE? When are TNA stars going to start winning NXT championships? Eddie Edwards came out afterwards and said that, hey, if people are winning belts, why are we not winning NXT titles? Or why are we not challenging for NXT titles? I told Chris this yesterday again, but anytime there is a heavyweight title match at Slammiversary where one of the challenger or challengers going into it has a ton of momentum behind them, I'm never picking them ever again. Because 2 years in a row, they pulled the same move.
Yeah.
Slammiversary, and Tom Heffernan actually said this on the broadcast. Slammiversary is the kickoff on the road to Bound for Glory. They still treat Bound for Glory as their WrestleMania, as their All In.
Okay.
So Slammiversary is the kickoff, much like the Royal Rumble's the kickoff to the road. I'm never giving the big title change to Slammiversary ever again. I'm just not going to look at it. Just like in WWE, you can read the landscape. I'm not making a title change at the Rumble before Mania, because you already know what the plans are, or you have an idea on where they're going, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel they missed out on a moment, though, with Santana.
Absolutely. You had 7,000 New Yorkers in that building for him to what? Not win at Slammiversary, to go to Bound for Glory, to win it in front of maybe 2,500 people in Lowell, Massachusetts.
You'll never recapture that. That's the only.
Exactly.
I understand booking is booking for a reason. And you got on this week's Impact, you had Joe Hendry kind of pass the torch to Santana as being the guy in TNA, right? Hendry's been on this incredible run. He's been the face of TNA for the last 2 years, maybe even a little bit longer. The WrestleMania moment, the Royal Rumble moments, all that, he passed the torch to Santana on Thursday. So we're definitely going towards Santana and Trick at Bound for Glory. But again, wrestling is about creating moments, and those moments that last forever. I don't see how you can look at it going into the show and even looking at it Monday morning quarterbacking it to say they made the right call by not having Mike Santana win that title. I don't know how the payoff gets any bigger or better at Bound for Glory.
When is Bound for Glory? That's October.
October.
If this whole partnership was building to a Survivor Series War Games, I'd love it. An NXT branded one, I'd love it, but I don't see it going that way.
Well, I saw a bunch of people tweeting that out. Like, we need the TNA invasion now. You should have left Slammiversary pissed off. They have your women's heavyweight title. They have your men's heavyweight title. The entire roster should have ran roughshod on NXT on Tuesday night.
Yes, should have. Yes.
I think there's a lot of. I think the reason why we're not seeing a brand war in a way at the moment, and I've said this before, is because of the way TNA, tapes, just being a few weeks and like a month in advance a lot of times. And, Carlos Silva has said, when we do get this new deal, they're hoping to move into, possibly live every Thursday or whatever night they decide to fall on. If we get to that, then maybe we will see more of a brand war, because then you'll get that unexpected moments and you'll be able to weave in and out better instead of NXT having to kind of follow what their taping schedule has already been. Like we talked about going into Slammiversary. We knew the women's match before because we went to the taping. Yeah. So like that was something that they had to play off of. It's at some point though, TNA has to show the benefit of this and not just be all NXT.
Yeah, because it's feeling like the AEW do all over again.
Yeah. See, I still don't get that vibe. Even though Trick has the title and JC now has the title, I don't get the quote unquote burial aspect of the relationship yet. Like, to me, the AEW TNA one was just strictly in favor of AEW, and there was no focus on TNA at all. We're getting TNA stars on NXT. We did not see a single TNA star on Dynamite.
Yeah,
it was just Kenny with the title maybe once or twice, and that wasn't even out there that much. There were times he came out to the ring and didn't even have the TNA belt with him. Yeah,
him not even wearing it. Somebody was holding it for him.
No. Or they just left it in the back altogether. Nah, keep that in the bag. We don't need to bring it out. Like, so the relationship has been way more beneficial to TNA. Obviously, they had 7,000 plus people in an arena with their largest gate in a decade plus. Like, so you can't say it's not benefiting them. It's just, if you make a couple more decisions like you made at Slammiversary, you're gonna turn back into LOL TNA. And you're going to lose the credibility of the fans that have stuck with you this entire time. Will you gain some new fans because of NXT and the relationship? Yes, but those diehard fans that have kept TNA going for 23 years, you're going to turn that fan base off. eventually. And some of those decisions, were evident on Sunday. You can't have too many of those because then you'll ruin TNA for what TNA is. And at that point, you might as well just sell to WWE.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All right. Anybody got a mush?
I mean, we can keep this talk going because I can go into mine. But I mean, from Slammiversary, it's the production issues that they had. There was a lot of them. It was, I mean, the biggest one I think that got the most talk was the backstage with the Elegance brand, which was just an LOL TNA moment. Bringing that up, Steve. But then there was also, I think, because they don't go live a lot, I think, the production issues of camera missing spots, and not being, being in the right position or, focusing on the right. There was a lot of that. There was sound issues. I mean, I could really go on, but like one of our friends, he hit me up and he watched the pre-show. And he goes, if TNA, they're touting the crowd, they're touting being the largest arena they've been in and everything. He goes, but why does it look so indie on the pre-show? Like they had the mic issue. Like one of the guys wasn't even able to talk on the mic. It's like, it's little things like that, hopefully if this new TV deal happens and it brings in some money, they really need to step up the production game. Like, because TNA used to be there and, for number of years now that production value just hasn't been there for the brand, and that's something that needs to get stepped back up to.
I don't mind the indie look in the arena because it's much like AEW the past 2 weeks. It's tailored to the venue, so I actually like the look and the setup at Slammiversary because it brought the arena more into the show as well, so you don't just get lost in the sauce, right? It kind of helped elevate the program, so to speak, in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, I had a hard time hearing theme music all night.
Yeah. Like I couldn't tell AJ's theme music at first. Like it's not like the
and
old,
I don't know
like,
if that,
hit it, but.
And I don't know if because there were plenty of people live in the arena that were posting stuff. So like when AJ's music hit from the live shots that were there, the pop was so big. Like, I don't know if that drowned out the music because of it being a smaller venue and the production was what it was, that like they just flat out overshadowed the music coming through the speakers because that pop was absolutely insane when he came out. But yeah, you needed to be on every single P and Q, and every I need dotted and every T need crossed. And they dropped the ball on that side of things in that regards. So I thought the show overall, I enjoyed the show from start to finish.
Yeah, matches for the most part. I was fine.
Meltzer absolutely hated every single match on there. Leon Slater and Moose had the highest star rating, and I believe they got a 4.5 star match, but there was nothing rated above that. Jacy Jayne and Masha, I think, got 2 3/4 stars. I thought that was arguably one of the best matches JC worked. Being in there with Masha, who could absolutely go. We've seen what she's done with talent.
I feel like he don't even watch. He just throws it on the wall and just
I mean, I thought they made the right call starting the night off with Cedric and Mustafa.
Yeah.
That got the crowd hyped. That got the energy going. They had a banger of them. They had a banger of a match. Ali almost died on that dive, and people immediately were like burying the wrestlers. And Ali tweeted out, "No, that was my fault." He goes, I wanted to do something different on the landing, and I overshot and overwrote. Like I didn't, So like that was on him, right? Like hell, even the ladder match with the Hardys and all that, given what it was, like I enjoyed that match.
Yeah. Jason, on the other hand.
Yeah. So
the result.
I mean, when are you going to see? I think Top Dollar officially redeemed himself for the botch dive by doing a moonsault off of the ladder, and then immediately unredeemed himself by the way he fell off the top of the ladder.
I get what was in his mind. He needed to make it over the rope, but you could just leave it made it over the rope.
Yeah.
You six what? You 6'8". Either way, you going over the rope. So
man, you ain't got no knees, boy.
Yeah, it could have gone a lot worse than it did.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Casey Navarro for wrestling that match on a fully torn ACL.
He had been on the injury list every week for a while. And it's like, even here in Pittsburgh, like, he wrestled, even though he was technically on the injury list.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could tell he wasn't missing Slammiversary.
Yeah, injuries are a big thing right now. Trey Miguel's going to be out for an extended period of time with a sports hernia. He's still debating on whether or not to get surgery. Navarro with the torn ACL is going to be out for a long time. We already know Elias is out with his torn pec or torn tricep for a while. So, like, injuries are stacking up in TNA, but you want to talk about injuries stacking up, AEW's injury list is insane. And it just goes to show what Miz said all them years ago on Talking Smack about the style of wrestling that you guys do.
Yeah.
And Jay White now has another injury that popped up where he's debating on whether or not to get shoulder surgery and be out for the remainder of the year after he's been dealing with his wrist injury since March. Ospreay, look, we want to talk about Seth's injury being at work. I don't know how Ospreay has 2 herniated discs and he's going to be back wrestling in a month.
I don't know.
Especially with his style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna rehab for it, and then right after he's gonna rehab again probably.
And he was supposed to be taking time off because of his travel schedule and how worn down he's felt. So I don't know if they're using that as storyline because we don't know work shoot, right? Or what, but I mean, you just look along the list of injuries in AEW. I got probably 20 some odd people I saw this morning on a list of people that are out injured right now. So
played some other talent during this time.
Allegedly, we'll see.
TNA to do that too.
As much as we need a break from wrestling, I think they need a break.
My mush last night. My mush was from last night. SmackDown. SmackDown start to finish was an unforgettable show, and I'm excluding the tribute stuff. I'm just looking at the show itself.
Yeah,
I thought SmackDown was the worst show of the week.
I can agree with you there.
This SummerSlam build has been terrible because they have had no time for it. You're getting matches announced on Sam Roberts' show. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross got announced. The Cena not being there for every appearance. You build up steam last week with Cody taking Cena out, announcing the street fight, and now we get Cena this week, but Cena will be on the go home show next week. I don't care at this point.
And it feels like we're getting too many gimmick matches.
Every single match on SummerSlam is a gimmick match.
There's
a stipulation.
Yeah.
You got the steel cage match. You got the street fight. You got tables, ladders, and chairs. That's just on the SmackDown side.
Mm-hmm. And you got Lyra and Becky in a no DQ.
Lyra and Becky, and if I lose, I can't challenge for the belt.
Like screw storyline.
Yeah.
But
like I didn't even know it's a regular match. Started triple threat in some sort of gimmick.
Yeah, SmackDown for me. Listen, is Jelly Roll entertaining, and what they're doing with him, Logan, Randy? I like it. Did he cut a promo last night that's better than some people in professional wrestling for multiple years? Yes, but he's on the microphone for his profession, so he can talk. I didn't need you coming out of the Hogan tribute into a Jelly Roll Logan Paul impulsive talking segment.
I didn't mind. I heard you chanting Logan. Thank you, Logan. I enjoyed that part. Like, why the switch up? You were just chanting "Thank you, Logan."
Like, I like that. I like what they're. I like what they're doing. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, and I don't know how you necessarily transition out of the Hogan tribute, right? What you can do. Maybe you run the Alexa Bliss Roxanne match there instead, to go like in ring wise, right? But it's just nothing about SmackDown last night worked. Like, I don't care about the melee for the TLC announcement. You know, Miz and Jacob Fatu, where did that come from? Like, oh, Miz is some tough guy now. He's slapping Jacob Fatu in the face. Are you kidding me? Jacob should have laid him out in the back and then didn't even go into the match. And then he gave him way too much in the match. I don't care if it's the Miz or not. Miz ain't been relevant in how long? And you're walking up and slapping Jacob Fatu in the face? Get the hell out of here.
On Cleveland.
What are we doing?
Is that where they were last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that hometown buff.
Suspend belief.
That's the whole reason.
So yeah, I'm out on SmackDown last night. That was a waste of time. I should have watched Happy Gilmore 2 instead. I would have had more.
Don't say that.
More enjoyment.
I love it. So did Trick's promo end on air on Raw at all?
No, it was during one of the commercial breaks, but it was a tremendous promo.
Yeah. So there's my mush. So I said mush because here's what happened. Steve is a Twitter guy, and Steve sends you all the Twitter links. So I'm at work, headphones out, and I'm like, okay, let me just put it on the shelf, turn it up so I can hear. So I press on the tweet, comes up, no audio. But that's how I watch them. Like, if you send me a wrestling clip, I'm watching it with no audio. Then I'm like, because it's just wrestling. I'm like, it's the promo. Damn, I got to open the audio. So I open the audio, turn it up. I'm walking up and down the aisle. Trick cutting the promo. I'm laughing. I'm giggling. Promo goes off. Next thing I hear is, I have never look. You have never seen me turn on a dime so quick, boy. I made Barry Sanders jealous. Like, her commercial. That was me getting back to my phone.
That algorithm, boy.
Steve is my mush. If you give me a wrestling link, or if you give me a wrestling video, follow it up with more wrestling.
Bro, that's video in line. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's all on you. You can't make it. That's your Twitter. That's your Twitter. Link. That's your Twitter. That's your algorithm. I had nothing to do with that. It was a promo from Netflix account. It wasn't it. Like, it's not my fault you went into to Big Booty 42 right after the Trick promo.
Send me that link.
Dude, that's crazy.
You lucky we have told you.
We have told you multiple times. We've told you your algorithm is going to catch you slipping. And you've even said it on this show. Oh, I opened my phone in this and I had it immediately go because I was caught. Yeah, you should have known.
Oh.
You should have known. Oh, wait, let me put in the AirPods before I hit play.
I'm not on Twitter enough to know they follow the videos with the videos. I'm thinking, like, if I click on this video, that's all I'm seeing, and not sending to the real category.
Oh, you reach your algorithm.
No, you're going right into. Yeah, you went from trick talking to booty talking, right? Back to back.
Now that's how you break them in knot the other week.
You got the nerve to come on here and put me as your mush.
The week is better now.
Yeah. That made the week.
It lightened the mix up.
Man,
This guy.
all looks clear, clean.
Look, now that we said it, you're going to open your phone up and there's going to be something sitting there. Now,
I'm not opening my phone. I got that Bible app open right now. Let me leave it there.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know how my bush can even compare to that. But my bush comes from AEW and the Hurt Syndicate and MJF stuff. I mean, the Hurt Syndicate was basically just used as a stepping stool for MJF, and then now they're basically APA being hired out by Cope to take some, to fight FTR.
They hurt people.
I mean, who are they now? Like, come on, like literally hire them out. I mean, I know that they're gonna fight FTR because FTR was talking about the tag titles, but you go from you being a stepping stool to being hired out. Come on now.
Look, I don't mind in storyline Cope hiring different people to attack FTR because he's not allowed to touch them, and he's just taking different avenues to spear Stokely on a weekly basis. Like, to me, that's entertaining. But having the Hurt Syndicate be a group to come out to do it, it's like, so you hired heels. There's no ties into any of this at all whatsoever.
Yeah. Just because they hurt people don't mean I'm hurting people for you for money. Yeah.
And then if that wasn't a spoiler to the tag team eliminator tournament that they're running, I mean, I don't know how you don't have FTR challenge the Hurt Syndicate now.
Exactly.
So you gave away your whole tournament.
Hold on, tag team eliminator tournament.
Yeah, so the tag teams are in a tournament to wrestle each other for the number one contendership against the Hurt Syndicate.
And then that gets into an eliminator match.
No, this is the eliminator matches. So they just titled it the Tag Team Eliminator Tournament.
Everything has to be a tournament and a multi-man.
So I actually like Dynamite this week. There were things that were wrong, but to me, this was the show that you should have ran last week coming out of All In. Because you had the conclusion to Hangman and Mox.
Yes.
And all that. Like, this is what you should have did last week. But yeah.
That was my
and look, I don't care that you're making Willer Yuta see nobody's coming out for him. They've been doing that the entire time.
Yeah.
Been doing that the entire time.
That man is a jobbing machine, boy.
Fifth wheel.
Yeah. He's been the scapegoat for that.
Ooh, job machine.
Yeah.
The white donkey.
Claudio and Mark Briscoe being the main event.
Wait, what was that, Jason?
The white Dante Martin.
I don't know white, but
he's not white.
Yeah, it's just but like I did enjoy Dynamite more than I have in a long time. But again, it's back to you have Athena in the arena this week.
Mm-hmm.
In the balcony watching Billy Starks and Tony Storm and her cutting a promo, this and that. Like, why was she not in the arena last week to do the face-to-face promo with Tony Storm? Like, just little things I don't get. And I have no excitement for Collision tonight, I can tell you that much. So
can't tell you the last time I had any excitement for Collision.
What tag match again?
Same tag match again.
Probably. At least like one 8-man tag.
It was like
the Jets would do something. Jets be just that team that crossed through everything.
They I think they only announced one match like 2 hours before Dynamite went on air. So you didn't know. Normally Tony Khan gives away the entire card.
Yeah.
But not knowing kind of made me enjoy it more because I didn't know what was there. Like, if I'd have known some of the lineup, would have been, all right, yeah, no, this is just the same old AEW. But not knowing had me sit in and watch a little bit more.
And that's what we want in wrestling.
Is he right?
To not know.
Yeah.
That's all we want. All right. Anything else before we end the debate this?
No, I got we can save quick hitters.
All right, we are going with WWE's did I put we or huh?
Yeah.
Say we stop Hogan.
Didn't put the apostrophe for it was on there, but didn't transfer over.
Production issues.
No, that is definitely say we stop Hogan.
We stop Ken Hogans.
That's Chris's
answer. I thought it was we stop Hogan. I was like, okay, we go. You gotta
pick a different font next time. That one's not working.
Yeah, it had the apostrophes in there. I don't know why it didn't move over.
Yeah, sure it did. You were the one earlier that said what you said. So
hey, it's on me. I don't.
This was WWE's official top 10 Hogan's moment they released a few years ago. We have 10, the Mega Powers Explode. 9, Hogan wins the Royal Rumble. 8, Hogan and Edge win the tag titles. 7, Hogan becomes undisputed champ. 6, WCW's Bash at the Beach 94. 5, Hogan's Hall of Fame induction. 4, the birth of Hulkamania. 3, Icon versus Icon. 2, the third man. And 1, Hogan slams Andre. Anything to debate here?
For one, I didn't even know
Hulkamania isn't higher.
I didn't even know Hogan and Edge won titles, so probably when I wasn't watching it. So.
2002.
Yeah.
Maybe 2003.
For me, the Mega Powers Exploding needs to be moved up into the top 5.
Easily.
You can keep 1 through 4, not necessarily in that order, but I would move that up into the top 5, and then I would debate the order on that top 5.
They more so had the match, I do believe, or the moment he won, but I don't think they had if you're encompassing the whole storyline, that deserves to be in the top 5.
Yeah, to me, I'm looking at it from
the whole story.
The whole story.
They put what they had was Hogan takes down Macho. I put the Mega Tower Explodes because that's how it was billed as for WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, it was arguably the best storyline that they've done in wrestling to that point. It was a year-long build. And yeah, at 10, that's crazy. Especially even if they're just doing the match itself, Hogan beating Macho Man at WrestleMania 5, that match itself should still be in the top 5 if you take away the story. You
could take the Hall of Fame out altogether. I don't think no Hall of Fame induction should be up here.
I mean, I watched it, but yeah, I wouldn't say that is a great Hall of Fame moment, other than him getting in. But
I'd take that off and put him in passing the torch to Warrior.
I mean, even him winning the Royal Rumble doesn't do anything.
Because there was no stakes back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
maybe his return.
I would.
Which return?
I'm thinking like NWO 2002, or even the night after WrestleMania 18.
For me,
that crowd is ridiculous.
I'll take out the Hogan and Edge win titles because I didn't even know that, and I'll put in when he went back to red and yellow back at WCW after being NWO for all those years.
Okay.
Because nobody didn't know about that, and the crowd exploded whenever they saw him come back out. So that.
DJ, you know what time this podcast was.
We started early.
But y'all think the birth of Hulkamania should be one? I mean, that's when the fans and everything got into it.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't that, then Hogan slamming Andre wouldn't be a thing. It would just be a regular match.
I saw a lot of people this week saying Hogan versus Rock, Icon versus Icon is the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
No. Moment. Possibly. Match, no.
Not
maybe
match
the
at
most
all.
fan participation.
Yeah.
Bringing they're bringing two
JR
generations
was on
together.
Busted Open. Yeah, JR was on Busted Open and said it's the greatest WrestleMania match of all time.
It's been a while since I've watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the match, but I don't know.
We got to pull up what's the criteria. You got to pull that up. Yeah.
No, I think I might put Taker Shawn at 25 over that.
They didn't put on no 5-star classic, so they must be encompassing everything.
I mean, they put on a late '80s match. They did.
Yeah, true.
Legitly, that's what they did, and it's just bringing two generations of wrestling fans together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a moment, like Jason said.
Yeah,
good moment though.
Yeah,
a moment.
That is our. I guess that's our debate. If there's anything you want to add in the comments, feel free. But any quick hitters before we move on?
Couple things.
Triple Mania.
Yeah, we talked about the 4-way announcement of Triple Mania or Triple A. Bailey expressed some dissatisfaction being left off SummerSlam after SmackDown went off the air last night.
I don't get it.
She wasn't on WrestleMania and she's not on SmackDown. So
should have never been Lara.
Exactly.
Bloodsport, Josh Barnett's next Bloodsport on August 2nd announced a couple individuals. So Charlie Dempsey is fighting again, and so is Pete Dunne. Oh. So for those of you that are playing, where in the world is Pete Dunne? He'll be on Bloodsport.
Okay. Basically, Bloodsport has become Creative Has Nothing for you. So
yeah, Natty is on Bloodsport. Against Masha, so
just make her full time.
That is
played her in there every show.
I'm looking forward to that match.
Oh, that's gonna be a match.
Do we want to talk about ChatGPT's Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling?
Do you have it? Because I was never clicking on the link. Okay, go ahead.
That's all.
ChatGPT's Mount Rushmore of WWE women's wrestling is Trish Stratus, Charlotte Flair, Lita, and Becky Lynch.
Is it Trish, Charlotte, Lita, Becky?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I want to take the man off, but
it's WWE, so
yeah.
What's it? I don't know.
I'll give it to him.
As I say, we might have to come back on that one.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
All right, we'll put a pin in that. We'll put a pin in that. We'll maybe we'll kick off if nothing else pops up. Maybe we'll intro the show next week with that topic there.
Okay.
And then I had Karrion Kross and Scarlett have still not signed new WWE deals. The contracts expire in August. He has the match announced for SummerSlam against Sami Zayn. But he released a book this week called Life is Fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Was number 1 in wrestling biographies and number 3 in all biographies. It's released. So he has a book tour coming up, but I will probably pick this book up at some point in time here.
And say, were you going to follow him on the book tour?
Yeah, I'll go get it signed. So
you said Charlotte was the other one
for Mount Rushmore.
No, whose contracts were up?
Scarlett
and Scarlett, yeah. So they signed their deals together. So they But they're up in August. Don't know when in August. Obviously, if they're getting a match on SummerSlam, it would be after SummerSlam. But they, from everything that I saw, they have not signed new deals and have not even been offered contracts yet. So if they let him walk, based
Freddie
on
Prince's promotion starts up the end of the year.
He did marketing for I know what you did last summer.
Potential.
Only thing I had that we didn't talk about was WWE filed new trademark for Super Brawl. So it looks like
they already had filed that. They refiled it again.
Filed a new trademark this week. So
yeah, the trademark that they had on it ran out, so they had to refile it again. I don't, if you're going to file the trademark, use it. Like they just filed it to let it lapse and run out, and then had to refile it.
Be an NXT event probably next year.
That's what all those old WCW pay-per-views are, just NXT events. That's it.
Well, I mean, there's your
Super Brawl.
Look, they use the Worlds Collide for the AAA NXT. Why don't you use Super Brawl for the TNA NXT pay-per-view?
Do something.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Just do it.
I have Jesse Ventura being taken off main event.
Didn't like that talk. That's it. They didn't like that talk.
Yeah.
No, they Triple H was not happy with him after I forget what
the last one.
Escaping the cage or whatever out the door.
Yeah.
The Drew Damien, they yanked him right off of that. So.
Good. He was annoying. He's my number 2 tomorrow. Can't take it. And Undertaker wants one more match.
I saw that.
Jesus Christ.
I saw that.
Did you see him talking to Sean about it? He's like, one more in Dubai or Saudi.
Yeah.
He said one more with him.
One more Sean, yeah.
He wants all 4.
All 4, who?
He said, I'll call the mayor up. So he wants to redo that DX versus.
He wants to do the worst tag match of all time.
He can't do it with Triple H. He can't do it with Triple.
Yeah.
Trips is done.
He wants that blemish off his record.
I saw he said him and Sean. I didn't see all 4 of them. Wow.
Sean was like, if I had 500, if I had 600 match and this match is in 599 or great, I'm good. That's the one stain. I'm good.
None of them are getting back out there.
Did any of you think about this? Because I completely forgot about it from the week that was.
Yeah, I couldn't. Other than if you're.
Sorry,
if you
DJ.
If you're set, well, you can't do WrestleMania 40, but I can't think of people going against one guy. Normally, if it's,
you want to tie it into the week that was. For my Fantastic Four, I'll do Sting, Goldberg, DDP, and Disco Inferno, and Hogan's my Dr. Doom, NWO Hogan. There's your Fantastic
Disco
Four,
Inferno,
Dr. Doom lineup.
So
yeah, well, I mean, somebody got to get their ass whooped and die right away.
Put Glacier in there.
Disco's done. He's doing the job. Disco's doing the job. Disco was Dante Martin and Wheeler Yuta before that was a thing. So Disco, we're gonna have him job out right away to Doom. He's done. Hogan's gonna take him out right away. And then you got DDP.
What about Alex Wright? He can at least another one that could dance to it.
No, you can't be out. You can't be out there. No.
Okay, wait. We bring it up again next week because I was taking it wrong.
You were just trying like teams, like actual teams.
No, I was thinking of actually in wrestling, like
that
isn't
wrestling. It actually happened.
Oh, it actually happened. No.
Oh,
yeah, like or a group taking out one person.
There you go. DJ God said it. I mean, casting wrestlers as actual characters, like who will play Johnny Storm.
Because I was thinking, the only thing I was thinking of was like them going against Roman or WrestleMania 40, or everybody teaming up to take out Moxley. That's the only thing I can is coming across. So
here's the problem with me on that, DJ. Unfortunately, I've never seen any of the Fantastic Four, so I don't really know the characters at all. So
come off the screen.
But you know the concept of 4-on-1.
Every movie had been rated like 9% or lower, and you're telling me get off the screen.
Look, if we're casting, what are you talking about? The original Fantastic Four was great, and the Silver Surfer was good.
You've seen Piper Perry versus the 4 BBCs. Come on.
Look, if I'm going to go that route, DJ,
this guy. But what about your algorithms like that?
As the Bible opts open,
DJ, if I'm throwing wrestlers, if I'm throwing actual wrestlers to play the characters, off the top of my head right now, I'll go Becky Lynch as Sue Storm. Give me Batista as Dr. Doom. Give me Montez Ford as Johnny Storm. Give me Brian Cage as the Thing. And then for Reed Richards, the cunning, smart, I'll go with give me Flair as Reed Richards.
Seth is my Reed Richards. Ospreay is my Flame On Johnny
Storm.
Give me Charlotte as my Sue.
Of course, you just want to see her as the Invisible Woman with no clothes on. It's typical.
I'll go. Give me a big man. Kane is my Thing.
Kane is my Thing is a crazy sentence. Pause.
Holding me to fire and brimstone.
Give me Rick as my Dr. Doom.
Who?
You ain't got no lube, did you?
Rick.
Okay. I'll think of one next week. Only one I can think of is Lenny Poffalo as the genius, as Reed Richards, because he's the smartest. And I'm going by smarts.
I mean, Xavier Woods right there. PhD.
Dean Douglas.
The Dean. The Dean.
Matt Stryker, the teacher.
There you go. Because they're all scientists, they're all smart, so you can't have.
It's not much of that in wrestling.
Yeah.
I tried to pick some wrestlers that would have some acting chops.
I didn't.
But my doom will be Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Which Cody Rhodes?
ROH Cody Rhodes.
No, I thought they meant the Cody Rhodes coming.
Wrap this up.
Thank you for tuning into this week's edition of the Dumb Marks podcast. Leave you with my quote of the week. Oh, no. Find us on all social media platforms at Dumb Marks Pod. Head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees. Buy some merch. We'll give you a loud shout out on the air. Until then, let me pull Steve. Go through my phone. The idea is not to live forever, but to create something that will. It's all about your legacy.